All right. There you are. Let's get back on. Let's get him to get his let's see. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get T-Bud back in here for like 6 minutes. This has been a long ass live, but a really good one. So
I didn't know there
appreciate
was a
it.
cutoff for it.
There is now apparently. They wasn't doing it to me before, but I know T-Bud's pretty shadow banned from what I can see. I can't
No.
even send him an invite. He has to hop in.
So
Um,
can you back up a little bit for me? What is it that I missed? Because I
a
I
lot.
caught the end of that and that was awesome.
No, you missed a whole lot. Like we uh we delved into basically a little bit of him, his backstory, how he caught up to where he is now. We've talked about um a, a lot of spiritual aspects, in terms of like death, for an example, kind of spiritual awakenings. So, but all this is going to be up, so you'll be able to see everything.
Oh, okay.
But I did want to get the other guy in here so he can ask his questions to T-Bud because he had quite a bit. So, um, unfortunately, this thing does not like it when you talk too much.
Oh, no worries. What was the situation on death? Good,
Um,
bad,
no, well, good.
neutral?
It's just I would say really, in my opinion, death doesn't exist. Death is just a transition into life. You know what I mean? The only thing that dies is your body. You know what I mean? In a sense, it's like I said before, um, that you're not a body. You just have a body. So
Hmm.
you're inside of a body. Now the thing is, we become attached to our bodies, so we identify with that. And so when we think of death, we think of, oh, that's it. It's like it's not it. I mean, when you sleep, every night that you sleep, you technically are dying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not conscious. So it's just more so, I would say, third dimensional based is how people's view of it is. Um, which keeps them in a kind of a state of fear when it comes to death because they don't understand it. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, but no, I mean, it's just we were just getting his kind of insight on death.
I was reading
Um,
something about death and how right now, I mean, we know that there is a lot of death right now, and not just because of the V, right, or the virus, but
right.
there has been a lot of deaths. And can I just point out that it, at least from what I remember, it started with Kobe last
Yeah.
year in 2020.
Yeah.
One of the biggest loss for many generations, right? And then it hit. Everything started hitting, and a lot of people started passing away. And I was reading that, and I didn't delve too deep into it. Honestly, my brain has been so foggy and tired lately, but it was saying that people who are here, we chose to incarnate here. And
Hmm.
there's some people that their soul's contract with this dimension at this moment right now in this human experience, their time is up.
Oh yeah.
However that means, whatever that means. Or some people just, oh shit, they just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
It's tough right now. It's hard, and it has people scared and questioning their ideals, their standards. It's it's a very, like, this is it. This is when push comes to shove, and then this is it. Hey,
How's it going?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you good. It's our bad though. I wanted you to get your questions off because I know I saw
Um,
you had a lot, but they've been giving me a time limit thing on this. It's
is
been
um
crazy.
is Taylor out of here? I don't see him.
No, he's coming back. He's trying to get in right now. So once he gets back, and he sent, because I can't invite him. That's how shadow banned he is.
Oh yeah.
So he's got to hop in first, and then we'll get him in. But in the meantime, is there anything that you wanted to go over that maybe he had spoke about at all that you wanted to talk about?
Um. Well, one thing I want to say is this live in general. This is what, the third one you're doing or fourth one? Like, man,
It's
this
the fourth, yeah,
it's
yeah.
been it's been I've been learning so much, and it's been packed with value. I just want to start with that. And
Thanks, man.
one of the main reasons I wanted to get on here was just to thank Taylor, because I can speak for all of us when I say the impact he's had on us, like, the spiritual community, or like you know
Right,
the community in general. And it's like, I do have some questions for him in terms of dreams and health, stuff like that, because
right.
I've been onto his stuff for about 2 years, and I'm new to your stuff, but I'm definitely going to check out your stuff on Mondays and Wednesdays. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
it's really been nice in this chat. Even the chat's been asking good questions and giving feedback.
Yeah, there they have. I mean, I've peeped, some of them, and then I think for a minute there they wouldn't allow me to pin any of the comments, and they're messing with the live. This is what it seems like. So we must be talking about a lot of good stuff here because they don't want it. They keep messing with my live now. So yeah, this is the reason why it's like the fourth one. But I wanted to make sure that people got an opportunity to be able to talk to Taylor and ask him questions because I know he's probably not going to be doing so much of this stuff, and you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
be a little secluded. So,
And
I
that's why
wanted
I'm
to try and
asking
make sure.
questions. That's why I'm asking questions, is because we don't know. We don't get Taylor on here much, so I might as well, get good questions in, and it can help
Yeah,
other people out too. So
exactly. And by the way, the lives are going to be up. I'm not taking the lives off. So, in case you did miss anything, then you can always go back and watch the video. So, that's another good thing. And I'll save these also on my own. So that way, if Instagram decides it wants to be full communist, then I'll have them, archived. So let's hope Taylor can get back on. I'm going to shoot him a message real quick.
so
So
are
what
you
was
are
the
you in the
questions that you
U.S.?
had? I'm sorry.
I was asking, are you in the U.S.?
Me?
Yes, we both
Both
are.
of you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in
Are
Canada.
you?
You guys were saying you got to get
Oh.
out of Canada, so I'm like,
Oh
damn.
shit, Canada.
Yeah, I've heard about Canada. What's going on in Canada? And well, I don't know what's worse, Canada or Australia, but
Australia by
I'm gonna
far.
say Australia for sure.
okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in either one. I'm sorry.
How are you doing?
What? Yeah, what have you experienced so far? Being out there.
Okay, so I'm in the BC, so that would be the west side. Um, the other side is like Ontario and like Quebec and stuff like that. So recently they just, I don't know what words I can say on here and whatnot. I'll be mindful, but they just came out with the new cards to be required to go into public places like gyms and restaurants. I don't know how it is in some states over there, but like, you can't go to the bar, you can't go to a restaurant unless you have the proof of thing.
Yeah.
And traveling is kind of the same. I don't know too much about travel, but people can come in that have the jab, and if
Hmm.
you leave and come back, you got to do a 14-day stay. But man, a lot of people here got it, man. I think the numbers of the percentages of people that got it in the news, they said, oh, like 80% plus got it, and it's like not even close. So I think that made people want to follow everyone else and go. And we all know the news in general,
Yeah.
how much it can
How
trick people into
how
believing.
how is the news out there in terms of what they show you guys and what they like the propaganda? Because I mean, I know everywhere is different. U.S. has its certain way of lying to the public, so I know that other countries have its certain way of lying to the public. What have they been telling you guys?
They've been telling us false numbers. They've been telling us it's worse and worse when it's not really. Um, yeah, they're just really pushing this thing. Every time I hear the radio, it's like every commercial is about the jab, and
Hmm.
that's really what the force is. You looked at different. If you, I feel like the percentages now are just getting higher and higher. So like the ones who don't have it are kind of being ostracized now. It's getting to that point.
Yeah.
And what they say is that they'll revisit everything in January, like the whole mandates and the passports and stuff. So I'm kind of just holding off until then. And really, it's just fear. You know what I mean? That's what the media is doing, fear. So I
It's a
can't.
low vibration.
Yeah, yeah. So I really don't pay attention, so I can't say what the media is saying. But I do see all the all the stuff that goes out there and what people hear. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
See, now, I don't know, because I don't know what it's like to not be awake or aware right now. I would hate to be that person.
Yeah.
But being that, awake and aware, you can easily see the agenda from miles away. You can easily see the propaganda. You can easily see that, yeah, the government don't really care about you. I mean, if they're going to try and give you something for free, which when have they ever done anything like that? And then try to act as if they care about your health at the same time offering you free donuts and fries and burgers. I don't know how a simple-minded person can possibly believe that, there's
Yeah.
nothing fishy with any of this. And,
I was shocked
when
at
it
the amount of
comes,
people who did, though. I was really shocked. You know,
I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm saying it must be
even
different in
it's
Canada
worse,
in
way
terms of,
worse in Canada, way worse in Canada. Honestly,
What is that? Cognitive
mm,
dissonance.
cognitive dissonance
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, see, so I'm sure because you're in Canada, you have to know who Chris Guy is.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Okay, so one thing that he says, which of course I agree with, is basically like a unified non-compliance is what people need. So for an example, like if one person goes into a Walmart without a mask, he's easily targeted or she's easily targeted. But if 8, 9, 10 people go in there without a mask, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
There's I don't think we have enough of that type of unity because I don't want to say necessarily people are just scared, but people are not. I don't think they have enough confidence in themselves and
Hmm.
stand in what they truly believe in. Because one thing's for damn sure, you're never going to put anything in my arm. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you say or what you do. It's just not gonna. It ain't gonna happen.
Hmm.
So if I already say that and I feel that way, then I know there's plenty of other people who feel the same way. But I know of people who got it because they said, oh, their job or oh, because of their family or
Hmm.
whatever. You can't peer pressure me into doing something I don't want to do.
Hmm.
And I think that a lot of people feel this way, but they're getting in situations like that you're in where you're saying that, well, all these people have it now, and probably due to just because other people have it and they want to contribute to society. But I'm not gonna be stuck in the matrix, number one, but also a reality that doesn't really exist. Like what people think going back to normal was never normal. None of that was ever normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're never going back to that. But
Yeah.
there's still people that want to hold on to that. So that's kind of an issue.
Yeah, and that's why I asked that question about is it a good idea to live in Canada and US or move off grid? Because I think even Taylor Budd's right. I think one of the best things to do is one, become minimalist and
Hmm.
realize materialistic stuff isn't really important, and a lot of us are realizing that, like in the pandemic. And then second thing is just to move abroad, because that's all we got left. You know what I mean, in terms of freedom. And then
True.
so those are really what I'm not too much love in the mindset of I gotta get out of here. Like I'm embracing while I'm here, But it should definitely be in the back of the mind to escape the matrix. Even though you
Yeah.
can't really get far no matter what, like the other guy said, but it's still better than here.
T Bud's coming on. So we're gonna let you have the floor. Speak with him. I don't want to take up too much of his time. He's been on for a minute, so you know what I mean. Let's let him have the floor. Ask him what you want to ask, as well as you two, my other special guests over there in the pitch black.
Hmm.
Um,
Sorry, I'm
anything
really
you want to
interested in the
ask?
conversation. I'm really interested in
Yeah.
the conversation, so I'm just hearing you guys.
Okay, for sure. All right.
We'll continue. So,
Oh, it says.
T-Bud,
Oh,
I
wait, hold
missed the
up. It
whole
says.
conversation.
It says only 3 people can be in here. Why is that? Are they limiting
Okay,
me now?
that's okay. I can hop off.
Okay.
I'm happy listening.
Okay.
They're trying to stop trying to stop
Hmm.
the truth from coming up.
As much as possible, I'm telling you.
Yeah, straight up. Have you heard his or read his book 2020 Tantra?
I think I've only read like a little bit, and I don't remember how I came across it. I think it was like
It's
on
on
the
YouTube.
no, it wasn't on YouTube though where I did. I think it was like on my laptop. I think I downloaded like PDF file or something, and that's how I started reading. I didn't even realize what it was. Yeah,
Hmm.
you can still comment by the way down there. And then what happened to T-Bud? Because I know they're kind of messing my thing up, so I don't think I can click on. Oh, they won't let me click on T-Bud. Damn, that's too bad. They know something's up. Okay, but I sent him. I think I sent him an invite. Let's see.
Did you save all those other labs, by the way?
Yeah, everything's up.
Okay,
There he is.
awesome.
Okay, we got our man's back. All right. So
Yeah, the whole Instagram just shut down on me. I don't know. It's yeah, but I'm
I knew
here.
it.
What's
All right,
up?
I'm
Yeah, so
giving you guys the floor. We're gonna try to keep this as limited as possible. But go ahead. I know you've had a lot of questions and stuff that you wanted to say to Taylor, so we'll let you have it.
yeah, what's up, Taylor? First of all, I appreciate your time, man, and all the words you speak and everything. We're big fans over here. I know you see the love in the comments too. So my question was about dreams, because like that's a big thing that you talk about, and your perspective on dreams is so crazy. And I've been into dreams since I was young too. And you mentioned about the liver being like the portal to the dreams, or that's where the movie screen of the dreams. But I didn't really understand that fully. Can you explain that in your own words?
Yeah, so like the liver is the filter. It's like the main filter. So it's like you look at it like an Instagram filter or whatever. It's like it's the screen. It's like so it's processing the light. So like when you have a dream, it's being it's being projected from the first eye or through the pineal to and for the personal body or whatever, for the body itself to see it for you to see it in a holistic way, because you're seeing it from the metaphysical to everything. You look at the body itself, like um you can look at it like heaven, man, and earth, and like in the middle, so the middle is man, and then or you can look at it like heaven, man, and hell, however you want to look at it. And so like for it to be a complete experience, a complete dream where you're fully experiencing, you're fully immersed in it like that, it's no different than a remote viewing. It's just that it's so clear, your body is so synchronized with this other body that you know that everything is connected. So on every level you have the different centers. So you're having your it's just like amplification of the light to where it's reaching the denser parts of you. Because like the denser parts of your body is not, it's not getting the same, like it's basically like operating off a different part of the light spectrum, to where it's only gonna even acknowledge a certain brightness of light. So like when you're getting that dream feed into the pineal, it's being further like amplified,
Mhm.
hitting the lower, that solar plexus area, the liver, the solar plexus, and that's where that's that lower. So that's the communication begins from upper to lower self, or however you want to look at it. Like up, it's however you want to look at it. Inner or outer self or wherever. But it's a projection coming from the pineal or through the pineal into the solar plexus and liver area, and mainly the liver. And that's where it's being seen. Like that's where when you close your eyes, that's what you're actually seeing. You're looking into that. Like it's all connected. No doubt. Like you have your pineal, and you can see the flickers of light coming off the pineal. But if you ever do psychedelics, if you ever do mushrooms or anything like that, it's all being projected into the body, like onto the body, the whole body itself, and you can feel it when the shrooms are in your liver. Is when you're starting to get the visuals in your head, because the light is that's where the light is being processed one way or another. Whether you have it in the shrooms in a more rudimentary way, you're eating the light, and then the light is being, circulated through the system, and that's the screen that the movie's being ran on, is the liver basically. So like the projection is coming from the pineal, and the screen is the liver, and you're really seeing, like, you're looking at it because you're going into your subconscious. So you're going when you're dreaming, and that's basically just whatever part of your body is the darkest part, your bowels, the less inhabited areas of your body would be where you're going when you're dreaming. So like, if you're dreaming, a lot of it is just the process, just so you can have a breath work session, because the sleep is just unconscious breath work. So when you're going into that state, you probably already ate something that you need to catch up on your breathing and process that. So you're in your conscious waking state, then you eat something or whatever you go through your day, to where now you're just doing your breath. You're sleeping. It's just breath session, basically unconscious breath session. Now you're processing that, everything that, all of the food, whatever it was, that's all now being properly processed. And so, like, it's really just, man, like, with the dream thing, man, it's such a rabbit hole with the dream thing. And yeah, like, man, kind of lost my train of thought with that. Kind of lost my train of thought with that one, because like so much of it is linked with that. Like so much of the whole process of even receiving the dream is coming. That's all part of that. And so like when the liver and the solar plexus is distracted, and that lower bowels and all that is distracted, your consciousness is switching from this upper brain into the lower brain, and you're communicating to yourself in a different part of the light spectrum. Like up here, when your consciousness is more focused in your head and everything, then you're communicating with a different part of light spectrum. But when you're in dreams, you could be at any different region of the body. But typically people are just going into their dreams and they're in their guts. Their consciousness is sliding down from their head to in their guts more, and because it's usually because the repetitive process of blocking a trauma and eating to cover the trauma, and then never processing it in your waking life, and only processing it in your sleeping life. So then you never really rest enough to dream or to make new dreams. So like it's like a constant cycling of blocking the trauma, and then you need this period of unconsciousness, or where your consciousness you're not unconscious, you're just in a different part of your body. And if you don't inhabit that part of your body, if it's riddled with parasites, then you're not going to retain those dreams, or whatever people are calling dreams. But your consciousness is just shifting from this part of you to that part of you. And if you have a personal, like a personal dream like that, it's no different than being like in a cell in the liver. The liver is being subjected to this certain experience or whatever it is, and you're in that cell in the liver. And relative to you, that is just another parallel life or another life altogether. So the dreams are always, that's it, just where you're stuffing your unconsciousness or your subconscious or whatever. That's what's blocking that connection from the solar plexus to the pineal. Where it's like if it was clear between up and down, then you're not going to be passing out because of the food or whatever you ingested. So that when you go to sleep, you're not just processing old traumas and constantly creating the same dreams and the same experiences, and then those experiences just continue to reinforce all your prejudices. So then you just further identify with this life as being all that life is. And so the more that you keep the gut clear, the more that you keep the liver clear, and then there's circulation in the liver and the blood, and it's nothing swelling up in the liver. There's more clarity in the dreams, and it's just where the dream is being projected for this part of you, because your body is the light spectrum. So there's different parts of it, like for this denser part of you to experience the dream. It's all just light. So when if you're tripping, you just see like the geometry and the patterns or whatever, or maybe between a dream is like that. When the dreams transition, it's just like patterns and stuff. It's the same as like when you're hallucinating. It's the same. It's like that part of your consciousness is in that part of your body, and your body is the whole light spectrum. So like every part of the light of the body is a different part of the light spectrum, and so it's just inhabiting the whole light spectrum so that you can see it, because the dream or the waking life is just the translation of the light or the patterns of light, because it's all just light. Everything's just light, vibration, resonance, however you want to call it, whatever, darkness and motion, whatever. It's all light. It's all light. So to the human opinion or human perspective, the light is being translated and transmitted in this human experience. And so it's really just the way that you're converting the light and communicating, using it to interface with yourself. So if you're in your head and your human thoughts and stuff like that, and you're considering that like this is your life, your waking life, you're in touch with this part of the light spectrum, with the two eyes on the face pick up, that's your reality. But if you're dreaming and you're tapping into other parts of your light spectrum, then you're going to have dreams that are just all moods, or dreams that are all patterns, or dreams that are, other human experiences too, all those different experiences. And then those dreams have to be displayed on something for you to interface with them. And so that each part of the body is different. Like I said, it's a different part of the light spectrum, and the liver is in the solar plexus area, is the area where your personal body can make sense of this light, because it's just so much information. It's just light. It's knowledge, information, or whatever. And so it's for the body to make sense of it, to have this experience, and to translate this light into something that can make sense of or provide meaning to. It's getting casted onto the liver and solar plexus from the other parts of the light spectrum, the other parts of the body of light, however you want to look at it. So it's just, that's just that. It's, you can look at it like the body itself is a screen or a filter, or a dream is being casted, and the body is the receptacle of that. But it's always the micro and the macro is always the same. So the body itself has this little same situation where it's expressing the light spectrum. The light is coming, from its source of darkness, expressing itself in all your bodies until it gets to the physical, denser, crystallized part of you, and then to you, that is whatever you define a dream as, or whatever you call it. But it's just the processing of light, and the liver is the main processor of, as far as it's like the first line of processing really in the body in a lot of ways. And it's a solid organ. Like, the stomach is a yang organ. It's not solid. It's an open organ. Like the lungs are open. They're yang organs. They're more ethereal organs. Organs that are more solid, or more earthly. They're more connecting you to the earth and to the lower parts of you. So it's like it really just realizing that, like, as far as the organs are concerned, and the liver being a solid organ, it's a yin organ. So when things are being transmitted to that, then the body itself, the physical dense body itself, is being more so directly communicated to, or if that's the emphasis more so. It's a more dense language being communicated. If once it reaches that point, because once the light is being processed through the yin organs are going to give off, like, it's just like you eat something, and then you create, like, you not only eat what you ate, but you eat everything that your body created to process it. So it's the same thing with the light. When the light is coming through the body, the chi or whatever, it's coming through the body, and it's hitting the yin organs. They're processing it. So that's creating, it's like another refraction of light, and then that light gets communicated to the next system of organs, and then it keeps getting passed down, shot down, like projected like that. And so the dream is just a translation of light, and it's being casted on that part of the body of the light, the light spectrum.
That definitely answered my question. I'm gonna replay that back and take in all that, man. That was a lot. I don't know where you learned all that, but that explains so much about the questions I had about it. Just makes so much sense now.
Yeah, man, it really is like, the more that you inhabit the light spectrum of your that is your body, the more access you have to it, and then then it's all a dream. It's like your days are dreams, and you no longer daydream.
So basically, the best thing to do is lower the density, and so the lower the density in your gut and your stomach, so the spectrum, so it basically it can travel. The projection can be better in your dreams because when you
Yeah, yeah,
stuff with
just
food,
yeah,
it's hard to dream.
yeah. It's just light pollution.
Yeah.
It's just not even like you're experiencing the dream. The parts of you that experience the dream are the ethereal parts, and it's not even being really retained because those other areas are all clogged with light, so the light can't penetrate. And even if it does, it's all that other light in there. So it's like you can't tell the difference. You can't, and then that's why they say, use your own light to return to the source of light. Because once you've figured out your own light, then there's no discrepancy. Then like this is me, and this is the not me, or this is you look at it, this is the self, and then this is the not self, or however you want to look at it. And yes, it really is just the to being able to discern the difference between like the stimulation and the glitter of the external light, the glow from the external light, and the true like steady radiance of the inner light it's way more like it's way more profound. But since we are so like desensitized in a lot of ways, it's just like we're really self-sabotaging at different points in the night, and like the way and throughout the
So
day, like how we're not satisfied with
about
dreams.
that, because you mentioned something that stuck with me, which was unconsciousness begets unconsciousness, which basically when you do something bad, leads you to do something bad, and like a downward spiral desensitizes you more and more. So a lot of us are like caught in that cycle, and like me even knowing that, I'll do that. So like an example would be you smoke and then you want to drink and then you want to jack off, and then that makes you even more unconscious, so you end up going to sleep, and then obviously by then you have no electricity or no spectrum of light. So my question is, what can you do, or like, what are some ways to break out of that cycle? Like, I know the breath work can help you be more aware, but one thing you said was you always take an exhale before you do something, or like when you realize you're anxious, and like I've been applying that. So just for the people to use like when they're caught in that cycle of like the desensitizing, what advice would you give to like break out of that?
Um, it's yeah, just like it really is. It really is. People really do have to slow things down so that they can change their value system. And I really feel like the breathing, just the more that you're getting, the more that you're replacing those moments of unconsciousness with breathing and conscious breath, then it just becomes more and more impossible to self-sabotage. It really does. It just becomes that it's just impossible. There's too much consciousness in your body for you to engage in certain things. The more that you replace unconscious moments with conscious breath, like it's gonna change. Like you just think that like 20 minutes or 15 minutes or 10 minutes here and there doesn't change your life, but it really alters the whole trajectory of like today, the next day. It gives you more ambition to just do another session, and then if you just can keep that going, and then you can expand on it. I feel like once you get up to 2 hours in a day, you're really tapping into your free will more and more, to where you're doing things out of choice. It's not so much out of knee jerk reactions anymore. Because at some point you get so trained into doing certain cycles, it's knee jerk reactions. You're just reacting to certain things, and you're not. It's not even any. You're trying to negotiate with an animal. You have to control it by controlling the breathing, and then the animal will follow that. But once you're already in it, now you're like negotiating with a lizard. Like you can't. You have to like expand those periods where you're getting breath, conscious breath, and then you'll have more consciousness in your life, more consciousness in your body, to where it becomes impossible to engage in certain behaviors. And you take one step towards the breath, it takes two towards you. It's really just like taking advantage of like, man, I got 12 minutes, man. I could do this with it, or I could do this with it, and then everything will just change the more you do that, because it's like, what else can you do that you're gonna scroll for 40 minutes or 30 minutes? If you just did breath work, you'd be in a totally different position at the end of that than at the end of scrolling. You're not gonna feel any. But I've never did a breath work session and regretted it. So I feel like it's just you just doing that more and more. Just getting, if you get to 2 hours a day, you're gonna be in a place where you're like, I can choose. I'm gonna harm. If I'm harming myself, I know it's my fault. It's all self sabotage. Anything that comes with this, I know exactly what I'm doing. And the more that you do incorporate the breath, you're gonna just keep getting to different spots in the cycle where you're like, whether it's like, oh, I'm 3 days fasted, I know the signals that come at this point. I know what to ignore. I know what's real and what's not. I've done this so many times. It's the same thing. Like, the more days that you can put a breath work in a row, 2 hours or more in a day, your life is gonna change, man. It's like I don't. It's gonna be tailored to you, but it's no way that it can stay the same, because you're changing the basis of all your rhythms. The breath rhythm is the one that creates all the other rhythms. So you just got to change that, and the other rhythms will just change. Like, but if you're trying to like react to stuff, you're going to be constantly reacting, and then the more that you react, the more that you reinforce the identification with the mind and the thinker. I mean, the thought, instead of being, the observer of thought.
Damn, that was amazing. So basically, start with the breath.
Yeah, just more breath in it. Just 20 minutes before food or water in the morning, and if you could do 20 minutes before bed, and then try to triple that, where you do 20 minutes at when you rise, 20 minutes after your first meal, 20 minutes at 3 p.m., and just do it to where you can get it. Keep tripling it to where then you get three. I feel like that's really where it's going to have to go, to where you just constantly tack on 5 minutes to your sessions. The more you tack on 5-10 minutes, the more you'll just can constantly expand. But if you try to just jump into an hour, it might be hard for you. So if you just do 20-30 minutes, once you're getting into beyond 30 minutes consistently, you're getting deeper into trance every time. If you got the patience to last 40 minutes, you're getting, after that 30-minute mark, you're getting more visuals, it's just more slowed down thinking, and the body's just more relaxed, so it can repair more. And so you got more momentum. The more the body repairs, the more momentum you have.
Got it. All right, man. I'll let someone else on, but I just want to say thank you again, and thank you. Is your name Gion?
Yes, Gion.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Taylor, yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
found
yeah,
you through Nick Caputo. I know you mentored him, and I think I saw you on Alex Jones, something about December 21st. Uh,
yeah. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then it was just a rabbit hole from there. But I have listened to 2020 Trantra, and if you're a guy watching this, like, go to just look up 2020 Trantra, because that audiobook is so dense, man. And it's so valuable that I have to share that. And your work in general, like, a lot of people know you already, but some of my homies got on this, and like Taylor Budd, breath work, and like the stuff he teaches is the truth. And I appreciate you guys for everything you do. And it was nice to be on here and get all the value.
Oh no, no,
So
thank you, man. No, man, I really always wanted to share, the tantra thing. I just felt like if we as males mastered that
yeah,
and respected our seed, it would change the whole climate of the male and female relationship, and then the order could be restored in life if we were to respect ourselves in that way. And I feel like, yeah, it's just something that I really would love, if everybody could
yeah.
just at least be brought to this idea of that you don't have to be a human sperm donor and wallet as a male if you're going to be if you're going to be a male in
I
society.
don't know if you posted this, but you said something about like if the whole world practiced human retention, then it would be at peace. And I was like, that's so
Yeah,
true, because like we're like a community that understands these concepts, but most guys don't even know about this stuff. Like, they're spilling their seed,
yeah,
they're spilling their force, like like we all know what it is. That's like your God force. Um,
yeah. And then females have nothing. They have no contrast. They have no idea of any other
exactly.
possibility.
Yeah.
that even exists, so that then they determine the standard,
exactly. Yeah, that's.
and they determine our nature.
Mhm.
Mm.
And it's it's because we're not determining our own nature. We're not really being our own nature. So it's really changing the whole landscape of the way we communicate with each other. Because there's no way I can even really love a female or take care the way I could if I'm not taking care of myself that way. And it's just, it really is. It really is different. It's a different state of consciousness to approach sex in that way. And I feel like if males took that responsibility, man, it wouldn't take long for things to get restored, because it's so much strength comes from it, just in small periods of people doing. People telling me about 30, 90 days. I'm years in, man. I feel like people tell me about their strides in 30 to 90 days. I'm like, yeah, man, this is the type of stuff that really makes those ripples,
Mhm.
because it's I know it's possible. For a while, it's not even fathomable to a lot of males.
Yeah,
But once they just got to get on top of their breathing, and then they won't want to. It's like it's just not worth the trade. The amount of breathing you have to do to
yeah,
restore one nut is not
and the
worth the
blood. It's
trade.
like 40 pints of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yes.
insane.
It's so much. Yeah, it's so much blood. It's why people just going to sleep, is because they need to breathe to regenerate, just to have any consciousness in their head. Because the consciousness is still in the body. It's just like in the lower chakras, all in them, because that's where all the blood is going to regenerate that area. So the consciousness is still there, but it's taking all like hours of breathing, hours of the body unconsciously bringing the chi back up to where you waking up in your head
Yeah,
again, and you're not even inhabiting the whole head. A lot of people, especially if you just blew your head off like that. So it's really just like a spiritual decapitation, man, and it just changes the way that females are going to engage with males. It's totally different. If a woman grew up and her dad was a master of semen retention, she would not tolerate a man that did not master herself like that.
hmm,
And that would just, and there wouldn't be 70 million abortions in the last few decades, if men had that control. If males were respecting them, and it would just be different, because then females would have fathers that had math. It'd be different if that's your father, it's different than it's like your lover, he mastered it. That's cool and everything. But if it's your father and you can see the self-respect in him, then you know that this is what you can respect. But females, they have never even really encountered that. They encounter people that are responsible within the matrix, the bounds of the matrix, but not really responsible beyond that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not knocking dads that take care of their families. That's what's up. But I feel like at this point we would be doing disservice to not hold it down for our sons and daughters like that. Like, if you know what I mean, or anybody younger that's coming up. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they don't have to experience that kind of sex no more. That's rape sex. You can still have fast tantric sex, but it's not going to be as rapey, man. It's so rapey. It's controlled rape at this point. The sex that people are having. So it's just a totally different approach to creation when the sex is like this, and it would change the babies that would be created. A generation of tantric babies.
ooh,
They'll solve a lot of problems.
that's
Yeah,
superhumans, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of energy and focus in that. You know what I mean? You're creating life. If you're creating life unconsciously, then I mean, just think about what's on the in is what's on the out. It's I don't know. I don't think people think about that enough. About what is happening on the inside is happening on the outside. Literally all the
yeah,
time. It's crazy.
yeah. It really is seamless, man. It really is no separation.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for your questions for T Bud. I'm sure that he answered a lot of other people's questions too, with what you had. You had some pretty good questions, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Um,
appreciate it.
Now, T Bud, there are people that do have some questions, but we've already done about 4 of these at this point, so I don't know if you know what I mean. If you want to answer them real quick or save this for another time, it's up to you. I'll leave it up to you on that. But definitely, before you do go, let everybody know, where they can find you and also, your work as well.
Yeah, you can find me at T-Bud, at underscore T-Bud on here. And then on YouTube it's Laozay, Laozay, like the Spanish way that you say Laozu.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's just spelled out the way you say it, Laozay on YouTube. And yeah, so underscore T-Bud and with two D's. And yeah, that's really probably the best place to find me. You can find me on Facebook at Taolore, um, Taolore. But yeah,
You guys got
I
that?
see yeah, yeah. People can just go to that, man. For these questions, they get a lot of that probably get answered anyway.
Yeah. All right, for sure. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, like I said, man, T-Boy, you're welcome on any other time too. Because I know people they're gonna always have some more questions, especially the time we're going in right now. I'm sure people are either they're trying to find themselves or find others with like-minded and stuff. So I know a lot of the knowledge that you have can help a lot of people right now. So you're always welcome on here, man, for discussion about anything. Thanks for everybody watching. We went through a lot tonight, a whole lot.
truly.
But nonetheless, there will be more of these. We do this every Monday and Wednesday at 8 o'clock Pacific time. Our boy here is in Canada, T-Bud, so he's going through it right now.
I'm in prison, man.
Oh man, China. Oh my
Yeah,
God, man, Trudeau.
man, that was rigged.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
man.
Take care of
I
yourself
hate
up
it when
there,
people
man.
ask me if I'm voting, bro. It's just like the eye roll, man. It's like I
Yeah.
already
Oh
knew what
yeah,
was
no.
happening.
Honestly, the only way to beat the system at this point is nobody vote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. You be like, I know I didn't vote. Yeah,
I heard someone say like Bob Marley just told like back then if Bob Marley was alive and he were to tell everyone like don't vote, like imagine how powerful that would be, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bob Marley's a
yeah,
whole different breed of human I don't see no more, man. So uh
yeah.
agreed. All right, well, wonderful discussion tonight. Thank you, T-Bud, for coming on, man. Of course, like I said, we'll do this again in the future whenever you want to come on.
Word, man. Definitely, yeah, man. Thank you for having me, man. Rest well when you do, fellas,
Appreciate it.
and everybody listening. Yeah.
All right, guys. So we off, but the lives will be up. So you guys can check these out. I believe there's 4 total, but they're up now. So if you missed anything, go back and I would definitely go back and take in everything T-Bud said though, because there's a lot of info on here. So make sure you guys go back, watch this. Follow me. We're gonna be doing this, like I said, every Monday and Wednesday, 8 o'clock Pacific. All right, y'all.
Word. Yeah. All right,
Thank
Joe.
you.
Peace.
Peace.